Happening now, Jamestown police are looking into a Wednesday evening shooting, what we know. Plus, we take you to downtown Jamestown's newest restaurant.
And it has been a wet go throughout much of the morning. The rain is going to continue today and for the next couple of days. I'll time it out next as the news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now on this Thursday as we start off a brand new month. I'm Justin Gould. Jamestown police are investigating a reported shooting incident last night in the Faulkner and Bowen Streets area of the city. Police report finding several shell casings from a semi-automatic pistol on scene. Police say there are no known injuries at this time. Anyone with information about the incident is asked to call the Jamestown Police Department at 483-7537 or use their anonymous tips line at 483-8477. All calls and tips are kept confidential. Chautauqua County has set up a new website to help those struggling with substance abuse. County Executive P.J. Wendell announced that yesterday afternoon. The creation of CombatAddictionCHQ.com to help residents with local addiction resources. Now, since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Wendell says there's been an increase in opioid overdoses locally, likely due to increased stress caused by the epidemic. Officials are also urging residents to learn more and consider carrying Narcan in order to help in the event of an overdose. In fact, Wendell says as an EMT, he has used Narcan to stop overdoses himself.
In my car, as I drive around as county executive, unfortunately I hear when these overdoses are taking place. One of the days in most recent weeks, there were 2 simultaneous overdoses going on the same block in the city of Jamestown.
Wendell says in many cases, the hardest thing for those struggling with substance abuse is to simply reach out for help. He says the website should make it easier for everyone to be connected with resources here locally. That database is broken up into several categories, offering information to learn about drug addiction, finding help, and what to do if someone is in crisis. More than $1 million from a federal grant made the site creation possible. Wendell was also joined by Pat Brinkman, the director of the county's mental hygiene department, for the announcement yesterday. Well, an annual flu shot is recommended by the CDC for all over the age of 6, but many don't get it, even when there's no pandemic. As Mandy Gaither explains, a new poll suggests that COVID-19 won't change that.
It's not the first time you've been urged to get a flu shot.
You should get it no later than the end of October. If it's available now, you should get it now. But don't wait until any beyond October.
But with flu season colliding with COVID-19 and the virus is causing many similar symptoms, health officials are concerned about the strain on the healthcare system this fall and winter. They're urging Americans to get their flu shots like never before. Despite that, 1 in 3 parents may not get their child vaccinated for the flu, according to a CS Mott Children's Hospital poll of nearly 2,000 people. Those parents expressed concerns about side effects of the flu vaccine or said they believe the flu shot isn't necessary or effective. But the CDC says the single best way to prevent the flu is to get vaccinated each year. In comparison, 96% of parents who got their children vaccinated in 2019 said they intended to do the same this year. The CDC and other health officials say a flu shot during the pandemic is more important than ever.
Sometimes people wait because they feel, well, maybe the immunity will wane as we get into the winter. And then you wind up that flu comes and you're not protected and you wind up getting the flu.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. The CDC says children younger than 5, especially those 2 and under, are at the most risk for developing serious flu-related complications. Well, a new Latino restaurant opened this morning here in downtown Jamestown. La Rumba, owned by Omar Gomez and his girlfriend Lee Perez, is located at 104 West 2nd Street on the Foundry Alleyway. Gomez says his restaurant offers a lot of unique Hispanic and touts a new, fresh vibe. Among many officials in attendance was Assemblyman Andy Goodell, who has a unique connection to this young entrepreneur.
It was an honor to meet him for the very first time. I've been excited, and I've been following him for a very long time, actually since 2010, or a little bit prior to that, because I did need to know about him before I represented him in Albany in a Hispanic youth leadership program that I was a part of for 2 years in a row. And ever since I followed him, and I've been paying close attention to what his steps have been.
The Jamestown High School grad says La Rumba is open evenings, Thursday through Friday, and over the weekend they offer more than just food. Their dance floor is also hopping for all guests. For more, you can check out their Facebook page. A little later today, we'll have a link to that on WNYNewsNow.com. And we got to taste some of that food there this morning. Let me tell you, absolutely delicious. If you're looking for a place to get some lunch, maybe a little takeout here this afternoon, certainly highly recommended. Good to see Jason. Thanks so much for tuning in here in the comments. Good to see Wendy. Hopefully you're having a great October 1st as well. Great to see David, Joseph, Pam, Michael, and Sally as well. Happy Thursday to all of you, and starting a new month, and a lot of people have Halloween on their minds for sure. That's something we'll continue to keep our thumb on and let you know what is happening with that. Speaking of what is happening, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is always tracking the weather, and Mr. Hunter, it was a pretty busy weather night, all things considered. I could hear the tip-tap of the rain on my window last night, and it's something I haven't heard for in a while.
Yes. I mean, you know, we have been needing the rain, and, you know, the rain has been very beneficial. And actually, you know, I'll show you the rainfall totals here, actually, where we came out for September. But how about this? The ferocious skies over Lake Erie, and the lake came alive. Sean Sweatman, again, you know, I mention it all the time. Sean is one of our best storm chasers we have, and Sean sends us some amazing pictures and videos. This was from last night, and again, this is overlooking Dunkirk. You can actually see the Dunkirk power plant right there. And how about this? This is what's called a wall cloud or a shelf cloud. You can actually see it, well-defined shelf cloud yesterday. That is, get ready, Justin, weather porn. That's it right there. So that's the shelf cloud. And how about this? Water spouts on Lake Erie once again today. This is from just this morning. This just came in just about an hour ago. You can see a couple water spouts here on Lake Erie. And again, Sean is out there in the storm chaser, and he's out there capturing this. But you can see the water spout coming right there. And then there's another one on the other side right there coming down right here. Water spouts on Lake Erie are possible once again today. If you are going to be going out on the lake, just keep an eye on for those water spouts. They're cool to look at, but you don't want to get caught in one. If you see a water spout, you have to turn around and go back. You don't want to go into one. Radar shows you it is lake effect rain. I scared you for a second, didn't I? Yeah, same as we had yesterday. Lake effect rain has set up basically off the eastern end of Lake Erie. Once again today, that cold air coming across the relatively warmer waters of Lake Erie has triggered a lake response. But this is where the hefty band is basically focused right now in the northern county. And that is going to be moving up to the Buffalo Metro and then sagging back into the southern tier as we go throughout the afternoon and tonight. We managed 58 for the high yesterday. Look at the record high for this day, 83 set back last year. Look at where the temperatures are today. A stark comparison over 365 days, 54 to 63 through the day. Occasional lake effect rain showers and rumbles. Locally heavy downpours are possible. Otherwise, mostly cloudy breaks in between, and it's going to be breezy as well, with the southwest wind eventually shifting west with wind gusts up to 25 to 30 miles per hour. Lake effect rain continues tomorrow. Then we stay chilly for the foreseeable future. I'll tell you how chilly in a few. Justin?
All right, Dakota, thank you. Well, with a possible stimulus package vote in the House sometime before Monday, Congressman Tom Reed says it's the details that need to be hammered out between Republicans and Democrats. Reed yesterday explained that he expects consideration of both versions of a bill sometime this week. He says the process is a matter of reaching a deal that gets the nation through Election Day and even into next year.
Over 6 weeks, we were able to put this package together, and why we can do this over the next 24 hours and 48 hours is because we know where the policy substantive needs are. It's a matter of dials and coming to an agreement to get through the election and into next year. And so it's about negotiating those dials and coming up with a deal that we can get done. And so I'm very confident that if there's a will to do it, we could vote on it in the House here in the next 24 to 48 hours, get this taken care of. So then the Senate has to do their job. And I would rightfully join with Josh, just as I'm holding the Speaker accountable, to hold Mitch McConnell accountable as a Republican and say, you know what? We got the White House, we got the Speaker to agree, Mitch McConnell and Republicans. We also need to agree and do our part for the American people and deliver this to the president's desk.
He says all of Congress has to work out their differences and get a package bill onto President Trump's desk in an effort to help the American people. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin says that they're going to give this negotiation a more serious try than before. And the White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows is telling reporters that he's seen substantial movements in regards to the negotiations just in the last few hours. Our Camille Burnell has more from Washington, D.C.
House Democrats' $2.2 trillion stimulus relief package is expected to come to a vote Thursday.
I'm hopeful.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi spent Wednesday afternoon negotiating with Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin.
We'll just see what they come back with today and how our negotiations go next.
After leaving Pelosi's office, Secretary Mnuchin said progress was made, but they still don't have an agreement. Sources say Pelosi and Mnuchin are far apart on a deal.
We understand that it's important to proceed in a way that results in both meaningful relief for the American people.
The bill will then head to the GOP-controlled Senate, where it's already facing opposition.
The latest bill from the Speaker is no more serious than any of their political stunts going back months.
But as negotiations on Capitol Hill continue, the pandemic affecting Americans and even sports. The NFL is postponing Sunday's game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans after Titans players and staff tested positive for coronavirus.
It's not an ideal situation, but like I said, this is the hand that we're dealt.
The league warning coaches there will be consequences if face coverings are not worn on the sidelines.
Nobody's to blame. We're in a pandemic. Unfortunately, things happen.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Camila, thank you. Now, airlines have bipartisan backing for a new round of federal assistance as well. As we told you yesterday, industry officials and their supporters say if airline jobs are lost, they will be hard to refill at a later date due to the training and certification that's needed for those workers. Well, coming up, there's a glimmer of hope for Buffalo Bills fans waiting to attend games in person. And later, despite showers in the forecast, Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties could face a drought. We'll tell you that and more as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
For the past 9 years, I've been a prosecutor right here in Chautauqua County, fighting to keep this community safe. My family lives here with me in Fredonia, and I grew up in Sherman, New York. Fighting to make sure that these communities stay safe is so very important to me. We have the highest caseload of any county in this state, and as your district attorney, I'm dedicated to making sure that each case gets handled the right way for not only the victims, but for the people that live in this county. I'm fully invested in this community, and I'm fully invested in this community's future. Vote Patrick Swanson for Chautauqua County District Attorney.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
After nearly a month of Fredonia residents having to boil their water, the order now has been rescinded. Officials say it's no longer necessary to boil water for drinking or cooking, but they are asking residents to continue to conserve it until further notice. Mayor Doug Essex says water samples from throughout the system have turned back clear and safe for all, but urges consumers to at least conserve that water till Monday. The order was first put in place September 10th because of increased turbidity from an algae bloom in the water reservoir. Now, as part of the mitigation process, officials say several filter beds have been replaced and are now in service. The so-called pink tax is now a thing of the past, as Governor Andrew Cuomo has implemented a ban on it. The pink tax is charging more for feminine products than for substantially similar products for men. The prohibition was part of Cuomo's budget in April, but takes effect today. So now, prices for razors, deodorants, and similar items cannot be based on gender. Officials warn that any business not following it will be held accountable. And there's a glimmer of hope for Bills fans wanting to attend the October 15th game. Governor Cuomo now plans to come and tour Bills Stadium to help him decide if and when fans should be allowed in. The announcement comes one day after the Bills announced there would be no fans in the stadium for the foreseeable future.
I am 100% eager to get fans back at the games, but I'm going to go out, meet with the team leadership, tour the stadium. We have some engineers looking at the situation now and see if there's a way that we can work it out. I'm eager to work it out, but again, with safety, complicating factor, the overall infection rate in Western New York. But we're working on it. We're working on it actively.
The governor did not say when he would be touring the stadium. Now, if you remember last month, the team announced there wouldn't be any fans at the first 2 home games of the season based on guidance from the state health department. Well, with regional rain totals about 3 inches below normal expected levels, Western New York has been placed under a drought watch, while portions of eastern Cattaraugus County are in a moderate drought watch. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration issued that this morning, but notes that there are no statewide water restrictions. Residents are, however, encouraged to voluntarily conserve water when possible. According to NOAA, conditions this year have been abnormally dry, with reports from the Jamestown airport showing 3.1 inches less rain than expected. Certainly now, though, the rain is coming down, and I know last night it came down in quite a feverish bit. I want to get your take on this, Dakota. Even though it's raining now, why still have this? Is it because of past data leading them to that decision?
Do you mean the drought
The
condition?
drought watch, yeah.
Yeah, so basically the way that they, the way that they actually determine this is based on rainfall and how below normal we are, and it basically determines on ground soil, how dry the ground soil is. And compared to where we should be this time of the year, the ground soil is relatively dry. Now, a lot of people consider a drought to be like feast or famine, where there's no water anywhere. That's not what a drought means. A drought is basically talking about the ground conditions, and in some cases, it can have an impact on water sources. Now, for us here, we are lucky that we're surrounded by the Great Lakes. So, of course, we have, Lakes Erie, which is where most of the water comes from, basically around here. I think the Jamestown BPU, and I'm not 100% certain on this, but I think the Jamestown BPU gets their water from the Allegheny Reservoir. I'm not 100% certain, but that is what I thought from my younger years. But, Buffalo and them, they get their water from Lake Erie. So obviously the lakes are gigantic, so the chances of the lakes drying up are minimal. So, so for us around here, we're fine in the water department, but it's mainly just the ground soil that we're talking about. The ground soil is relatively dry, and, I mentioned it, I think, about a week or so ago. If you went out and looked at your lawn, chances are it looked like concrete because of how dry it was. In fact, this is the current drought monitor just updated today from NOAA. Showed you that that yellow shade right there is actually the D0 abnormally dry drought condition. That's been extended into all of Western New York. But if you peek a little bit further to the east, that brown shade is that moderate drought condition. Now, this is just what is called by NOAA. It does not mean that we're running out of water, as I told you. It basically just means that the ground is relatively dry, and there's actually a bigger drought down here in portions of central Pennsylvania. So again, that is becoming a big of a problem. And speaking about the rainfall totals, this is where we were for the month of September: 1.41 inches of rain. The majority of this came within the past 2 days. So, basically the first 3 weeks of September, we had very little rain, lots of sunshine, great, but not a whole lot of rain to help. A lot of this came over the past couple of days. Look at where we should have been for a monthly total, 4.29 inches. So if you're very smart out there and you've already done the math without looking at this, that means our rainfall deficit for the month is 2.88 inches. And we're running about 3 to 4 inches below normal for the entire season for summer as it stands right now. 48 at the airport right now as a noon hour. West wind to 12, not as breezy as it was yesterday. But yeah, we do have a wind chill index of 44 degrees and some light rain is being reported at the airport. Nothing downtown as of right now. So let's take you on the radar. There is a little rain shower here that is north of the city, north of downtown. This is basically impacting the airport. That's why the airport is actually gauging this. This is just a small little rain band here. But the lake effect rain band that generated this morning is still up in the north towns here. It is impacting Dunkirk areas to the north near Silver Creek, going ultimately into Erie County. And this is coming straight off the lake. That is pure lake effect. And you can see it here as we put this in a time lapse over the past couple hours. Notice how it comes right off the lake. Now, if we were in winter and we had temperatures cold enough, this would probably be a foot of snow. Hey, it's coming. I'll get you prepared for it. But at least it's rain. Temperatures are not cold enough down at the lower levels of the atmosphere to change this over to snow. So it is rain right now. And this is all in association with a big upper level trough that is dug into the Great Lakes. And you can see actually the cloud direction. You can see it all swirling around. That is in association with an area of low pressure and associated with the trough. So here's Future Scan. Picks up on the lake effect rain very well. Notice it's jogging north and south. So it's not going to be staying in one space throughout the entire day. And that's good. You don't want lake effect staying in one area because, if you have a lake effect rain band dropping 2 inches of rain an hour, that's not a good thing. So, it's going to be jogging north and south through the day, and especially tonight. Now, tomorrow we may see another regeneration of lake effect rain, but I think tomorrow's rain might be a little bit more widespread. So I do think a little bit more better coverage of the rain coverage, especially on Friday. Saturday, we have up the rain chances just a little bit, but I still think it should be mainly dry. And then Sunday, we'll get into another chance of rain. And Sunday's temperatures are going to be a little bit iffy, and that still needs to be determined. But looking further down the road here, if you want the warmer air, it looks like it's coming back. It's going to get shoved out here. Look at all this warm air across the continental 48. This is going into the middle part of the month. So if you want the warmer air, it will be coming back. Zone forecast, inland areas today, temperatures are going to be struggling to reach 60 degrees here today. We're going 56 right around the city. A few pockets of lake effect rain. I think the better chance for lake effect rain is going to be right near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline today. Temperatures in the lower 60s with localized lake effect rain showers at times. Next 7 days, right there for you. 52 tomorrow, 53 on Saturday. Temperatures go down as the trough gets deeper and actually digs further into the region. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just a small chance for a shower. Monday and Wednesday should be mainly dry Tuesday, and temperatures finally return into the lower to mid 60s. We'll take a break. Be right back.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Hi, I'm George Borrello, and I'm proud to serve as your senator for New York's 57th Senate District. In fact, in my first year, I've passed many pieces of legislation as well as helping people and businesses in these challenging times. From fighting for a safe, common-sense reopening of our state's economy during the COVID-19 pandemic to continuing the push for the repeal of the state's flawed criminal justice changes, which have made us all less safe, I am working hard for you every day as your state senator. Your vote will help me continue my mission to boost New York's economy struggling from the COVID shutdown and for small businesses not just to survive, but thrive. I will also continue to hold the government accountable by reviewing policies that led to the tragic nursing home deaths statewide. I'm proud to represent our beautifully diverse region, and I will be honored to have your vote on Tuesday, November 3rd, so that I can continue my work fighting for you. It's not about rhetoric, it's about results.
Paid for by Borrello for Senate.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
And welcome back. Last year, Facebook announced plans to integrate Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger, and it just took a big step towards achieving that goal. Some Instagram users will now be able to direct message their friends on Facebook Messenger without needing a Facebook account. Facebook announced the development yesterday. The company owns Instagram and Messenger, as well as the WhatsApp. Now, linking all three platforms could solidify Facebook's dominance over the messaging market for a very long time. It could also protect the social media giant from being broken up, as it faces antitrust scrutiny from some government regulators. Certainly, a lot of people use that as their communication. And Dakota Wheat, actually, here at WNY News Now, we have Facebook for Business, and that's one of the best ways that we communicate.
Did you notice that the Pages Manager actually went away?
I did.
It's
Now
called
something else
yeah,
now.
I have it on my phone here very quickly.
We use this Business Suite.
Yeah, it's called Business Suite.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, look, we have a similar setup.
Yes.
It's called social media.
Yes, we have folders.
We have lots of folders. I got everybody right here.
Yes.
You would not believe the notifications. I have 38 unread Instagram notifications.
Oh, jeez.
Just from this morning.
Oh, jeez.
Is that wrong?
Well, I mean, it's like, for me, I don't like having the red circle. So, all the time if there's a notification, like I think I have a notification now for something. So I'm going to check that out.
My girlfriend is mad at me about this stuff, but I have 65,400 unread emails.
No!
Yeah.
No!
But I also get every email that we get to the newsroom, so I don't read every single one. And a lot of them are spammy, but...
Right, but
65,000 on my Gmail, that's a lot.
You see, I work on the basis of once I read an email and I don't need
it,
I delete it.
Yeah.
Why keep it in your inbox?
See,
I don't
in news
understand.
reporting, it's very
That's why
interesting.
there's a folder called Archive.
Yeah, in news reporting, it's very interesting. There's a rule, actually, a legal rule. You either have to keep all your notes or get rid of them all.
Right.
So I keep all my emails and notes. That's kind of my thing, digitally. Some reporters do what you do and just delete.
Like, okay, so like, for example, I know we're running out of time, but, for example, like if there's something that they need me to do or something and it's in like an email, I'll keep it while I'm writing it and then I verify what's on there. And then after the story's up or whatever, or, for example, it's edited by one of our web editors or whatever, then I just delete it because I don't need it anymore.
Simple. You don't need it. Yeah. No, I can see that. Good to see Tina, Diana, Bill. Let us know what you guys are doing in the comments. You big Facebook Messenger fan, I mean, you could be watching us on Facebook right now or on our 24-hour network. Either way, we appreciate you being here. That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news does continue 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com and on our mobile app. We'll see you back here tomorrow for our TGIF edition.